Hello and welcome, or welcome back. This is a zodiac specific reading. We're going to find out who you are. We're reading for Gemini. Gemini's card reads cross-pollinate, getting some new insights as usual. Let's see, what is a matter of importance for Gemini? What aspects or influences are coming into the situation? We're using the rest besides the zodiac cards from the astrological deck here. So far it's been going pretty well. Let's see what is coming through for my Geminis. All right, we've got the beginning here. Okay, we have Saturn, restriction and limitation, and order, coming into the second house of finances, resources, values, and what we have, our values, how they're coming through, and then imum coli, the base of the chart, represents our foundational family upbringing, our foundational belief structures, our grounded nature. So yeah, something about perhaps early childhood leading into our somewhat semi-conscious to subconscious routines as far as it pertains to our money, our what we value, how we value things. So for instance, this could be the difference of somebody who lives a simple life and somebody who would rather go into debt to have, the trappings and evidence of financial success. Or this could even be the difference between somebody who grows up in either a good or bad home to the extreme, and then goes to make their own decisions about how they're going to lead their own life. What do we value because of the structure and the guidance that we did or did not receive? The love is somewhat secondary here when we have Saturn's second house in root. It's more talking about the disconnect that happens in some family systems, whether or not you were brought up in poverty or riches or somewhere in between. It's the attitudes and opinions here about what we should value, how we should act, and people's judgments about our resources and our access to those resources. Under the deck, we have master number 22, Mars, motion. So something here is motivating you to either get busy about your resources, to protect your resources, to preserve, or maybe to simplify or expand. So let's get a little bit more information before we move decks about the direction here. Looks like you're maybe even meeting with a financial planner or somebody who's helping you to make a plan. Some people may even a prenuptial agreement or something. I know that's a little random, but it comes in for a reason. Now we have 56, progressions and journey. Yeah, it's the decisions and the things that we have decided for ourselves based upon and influenced by our past. But now we're creating our own structures, our own financial nest egg. Maybe we're even planning for retirement. Did I already say that? Under the deck now we have first house and arrival. For some of you, this may be, there's so many different things that it could be, like such as with this arrival, the first thing I was thinking is somebody planning for the birth of a child. But with arrival, this could be any number of things, like people coming to visit, or ourselves traveling or something. The arrival of a potential partner. or a gathering that might happen, there's these ideas about, well, in here there's something global because with this first house arrival under that conjunction in alliance here, we've got the world in between the antler space above the crown. So there's some type of your conscious awareness being drawn to matters of social or geopolitical or humanitarian type concerns with the globe there, the earth. And there's something about your journey that's now you are structuring this based upon where you've been, what's been modeled for you, and your choices because of that. We'll go with those two. And the one on the bottom is Coyote, revealer of truth. Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Sometimes I would say too that the universe sometimes can act like the great trickster, you know, fooling us into enjoying ourselves at something that we thought was going to be boring, or, meeting an individual that looks stuffy and then we get to see a little peer below the mask of their social decorum to see the human behind, and then we start to, okay, so there's something here about that. Let's see these other two. Oh, wow. So you get dragon, supernatural. You're the ancient wise sage. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. Incredible. So I don't know if any of you guys know any country songs, but there's this old Reba McEntire song, Fancy, and it's a different type of a song. I mean, I could judge it, but I think that it's an icon for a reason. It's more about a unique individual's rise from rags to riches, and in that case, the individual Fancy was her name. Her mother brought her up and had to turn her out on her own to make her own way. And the suggestion was to use men and their resources to make herself somehow indispensable and to be a high dollar individual. And so there's something here about the materialism, about the greed, and about grooming. Um, and also the necessity of certain things. But I wouldn't say that the people tuning in here are necessarily identifying with that song, but the song comes through because the rising with dignity, that mastery is your destiny, it comes through for a reason. I don't understand necessarily the full impact for your personal truth, but you're revealing this truth that there's this lyric that says, it's like she says it with real power, and it's like, even though you might have been born just plain white trash, Fancy was my name, you know? And so it's like it's your destiny. You've been marked by this. I don't know if your name has personal meaning or like your last name or first name or something like that, or if you're named after somebody in your family or a figure that it's like, for instance, Native Americans used to be, well, I'm sure that many still are, named for the totem animal or their energy or the stars or the moons that they were born under the influence of. And they would celebrate the different personality styles. And Coyote, being the trickster, often gets this suspicious, fearful rap, but the coyote was one of the wisest of the totems because he was so clever and so playful at the same time. Many things there. So, okay, let's keep going. So, you have this supernatural capacity. You've been marked by the power of your name, or the power of your placement, or the place of your birth, the time of your birth, some type of influence. It's been foretold. You might want to look into your astrology or other, what is that, personality enneagram profiles or something like that, to really tap into your deeper power and to unlock some of these aspects of your ability. And like an trying to figure out what it is that we can leverage to develop our resources, to shift our circumstances, and to outgrow our roots, and to, like, for instance, the first member of your family to go to college, or the first member of your family to attain a position of prominence, or to escape poverty, something like this. And we have sea otter, happiness. Be the master of playful living, with the trickster as well, right? Release expectations and enjoy every day. Let worry go and instead choose love. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love is sure. So, yeah, there's some type of destiny inherent to who you are and why you are. And don't overlook this capacity in yourself. Please don't think I'm just blowing smoke at you. It's you were born with this supernatural capacity. You are very magical, and there's a lot of wisdom that you are able to utilize to shift your perspective and gain the resources necessary to make a big shift for yourself and your family and otherwise. Maybe some of you are even supporting some family members. Look at this miracle. Gorgeous. There were some miracles on Libra's path as well, with a different miracle card. The hummingbird came out. We've got magic under the deck. With the supernatural, you are able to create miracles with your magic. So let's see what's down here. Passion. It's time to get inspired and motivated, and to really give yourself permission to investigate what helps you to feel alive, awakened, inspired, especially since we had the let me just take that back. But yeah, there's inspiring happiness in others, helping others to move beyond appearances and technical proprieties, to be able to loosen up. There's something about seeing behind the mask. And with Gemini being the twins, the Castor and Pollux twins, the good and the bad, um, the right and the wrong, the trickster versus the clever universal guide, it's like we're on to something here, and we're able to move a situation that has to do with our prosperity, it looks like, and our ability to overcome a circumstance, to walk our journey with pride and dignity, and to know that we deserve something incredible here. Next, we have Cosmic Flower. It's like you are blooming. Perhaps you're a late bloomer or something type such as that, where it's like it's taken you your whole life to get here, but there's something being evidenced, and all of a sudden I'm seeing passion as the passion of Christ. I don't know if you're brought up with religious structure or protocol here, but along your journey, this is actually something to learn from. Whether it's something that you continue to believe in or not, it still influences for good and for otherwise, that you it's, I guess, with the passion of Christ, it's where he is carrying the cross, and it talks about the stations of something. Of course, I don't know as much about this as many of you will, but it's something about oppression of the station, or with the indignity of being forced to do something, or to the cross that we bear. That's what I'm trying to get at. And so the passion is like the cross that we bear. Why do we do that? Why do we continue in the veins that we do? Why do we stay simple and structure our second house resources in order to build upon the roots and to progress on our journey and to arrive? It's like the point of arrival where it's like all of a sudden you look around and you're like, wow, I finally made it. That's what I'm getting. It's like this breakthrough moment where it's like you have a victory, you have happiness, you have something that is like all of a sudden you have confirmation that you are deeply connected to this and that this was written in the stars for you, this miraculous um, arrival. It very much could be the arrival of love or something else such as that. But yeah, there's something that all of it was worth it. Now, in retrospect, looking back at the journey, it's like, yeah, there were so many oppressive and limiting circumstances, but you endured with a good sense of um, playfulness. You were able to continue to laugh at the slippery slopes and at the different times that you didn't necessarily know the right thing to do or know which fork to use at a fancy restaurant type of a thing. But now there's suddenly this point of arrival. So discernment coming out, change, and Gaia. The winds of change coming through, especially as it's getting windy here. Something now that we've gotten into this point of arrival, I think that we're being told that the way that we handle success at this point is going to reflect upon us. Somehow, in some way, we're being told to stay humble. And I'm reminded there's this thing I saw a few months ago, Mr. T. I don't remember his proper name, but very popular icon in the late 80s, early 90s, right? And he was in this interview, and the interviewer sort of laughed at his shoes that were, he was rich at this point and he had duct tape all on his shoes. And his response was very serious. And he said, you know, it reminds me of where I come from. He was poor and his whole family had to share that one pair of shoes. All the boys had to use that pair of shoes. And so he said he always made sure that when he was going out and enjoying his beautiful life of riches and fame and fortune, that he remembered the shoes because that was the journey and that was where he came from. And so there's something here also about your happiness instead of bitterness and being able to ride on those winds of change, but also remaining humble and aware of where you've come. And did I not say in this that some of you may be taking care of some family members financially? So you may be able to have a job now that enables you to like buy your mother a house or to send money back to your hometown or something, or to do something for people such as, you know, like let's say that you grew up in a troubled household and now you're able to make a donation to um, a program that serves that sector of the population, an at-risk youth or something like this, or able to be your own, like the Big Brothers Big Sisters Foundation was big at that time. I'm sure it's still around, but we used to hear about it quite a bit. There's something here about being able to stay humble and say, you know, I was misdirected, I didn't have all of those resources, and I am able to, with this cross pollination in particular, it's like you're able to see something from multiple viewpoints, and this allows you to have such a highly developed awareness within yourself that you're able to stay humble and serve the kind of like the previous you. It's like the future you having supported the younger you, and now going back in time, sort of, to be the person for someone that wasn't there so called for yourself. It's like this beautiful miracle that you're able to support and love a small child. This may be adoption or fostering or rescuing a pet from a shelter. Yeah, something here about caretaking also for you. So that's beautiful. Let's just get a couple of cards from the Akashic Tarot to see what else Spirit wants to tell us about this developing situation. We have 3, I think. Okay, beautiful. You have Ark of the Covenant. This one also came out for Libra. Some type of protectiveness or a shelter. Um, Tent, camping. We talked about journey and travel. Maybe there is something where you are taking a hike or getting out into nature, but there's something being preserved here. Some type of temple, and this could be the sanctuary of self. I'm hearing 40 days, 40 nights. Something about a mission or um, a journey that you're taking for an intentional purpose. Oh, and we have this arrival too. Yeah, so maybe the point of arrival in protecting and providing for others, staying the course, committing. Yeah, there's something about that here. And then we have the Queen of Roses, which appears to be this motherly, emotionally nurturing individual in a garden of abundance with 2 of Roses, winged messenger. So a lot of water energy. And the 2 of Roses is about a soulmate connection. It doesn't need to be an intimate romantic partnership with the 2 of Roses. It can be any type of connection, but there's a message coming through about a destiny secured, but in that destiny, now there's the urge or desire to pay it forward. Underneath loving elementals, do you see that little baby? There's, for some individuals, even the taking in of a child or taking care of your inner child or the inner child of another. The Ark of the Covenant is making some type of a commitment to whatever magical supernatural awareness that has developed through your struggles, and to now utilize that to protect the integrity of something and to provide hope and faith and renewal for others. And now the King of Forces. I'm kind of thinking that this is you recognizing this point of arrival, having this emotional upsurge, and then the passion comes and it's like, yes, now that I have these resources, I'd love to do things more meaningful with my life, type of a thing. Or even, this can even be the awareness of a calling while you're so called stuck in a day to day boring job that just utilizes you as a placeholder. And now you have some type of ability to move beyond that circumstance and to use your time more intentionally. And I'm also seeing this individual looks as though they're out taking a hike. So somehow getting into nature, taking that journey, having time in nature might be important for you as well. So I'm interested in what this is that you're dealing with or coming into. Yeah, there's this. Okay, so even if it's not a small child or a child in general, there's the inner child of yourself reaching out to the inner child of another. So this winged messenger may be your ability to perhaps peer below the mask of another to reveal their inner truth at the soul level. There's some type of co resonance here that helps another to also take their own action or to witness something anew. Under the deck on the oracles, we have 24, love where you are, presence of mind. Use your sensitivity to know when to act. Yes, the roses to the forces. That's what I was getting at. It's like taking it all in, becoming aware of the potential and the status increase, and then taking action. Connect your heart to your head when determining what it is that you would like. So, yeah, maybe some of you are deciding that you would like a new pet or a new child or a new romance. And even if you don't want to parent a child, you can become involved in volunteering with things such as the Big Brothers, different situations, institutions. Taking action in some way definitely helps us to stay humble and to support the future of humankind by being the loving soul and a positive influence for change in the lives of other people, such as troubled youth, at-risk youth. And then we have 17, safe and surrounded by love. That's that image of this otter. It's the aspect of rescuing, whether it's a child or an animal. Safe and surrounded by love is allowing an individual to feel safe, cared for, seen, heard, respected, regarded, and taken care of, safe to be themselves. And so there's something that you have this enormous heart with this Queen of Roses. And now knowing how much love you have to give and how much healing you've been through, I think that you have this overwhelming urge to just give the world a hug. I think that this was also a tagline in the late 80s, early 90s. It was like, give the world a hug. There was like, I'd like to give the world, is it a hug? And something, da, da, da. Anyways, there was a huge movement, and then there was this huge worldwide meditation and all this stuff. It says, keep your heart open and know that you're being protected. Listen to what you know to be true and allow yourself to see and understand what's going on around you. So yeah, you're being encouraged by the universe to do something that feels very good to you and shares your love in a very deep way. I mean, this could be peer to peer as well. There are no limits to the opportunities that we can take in, but it's based upon the inner alchemy that we have um, taken our journey from point A to point B. It has to do with that point A. It says 33, let your personality shine under the deck. You have something no one else has that makes you who you are. Stop comparing yourselves to others and allow your uniqueness to shine through. It kind of normalizes and allows you to be um, different and unique, and your authenticity makes it okay for others to see that portion of themselves and help that to shine through. So yeah, it's something about the point A here and your humble roots and staying connected to that, mentoring and assisting and rescuing others. Not that others need us to do their work for them, right? um, but that we are powerful mentors here, and that you have the knowledge and the wisdom because of your capacity as a Gemini. You've taken in so many experiences and so many different attitudes and perspectives that you're really able to expand people's hearts and minds with the input of your unique journey. You've really been through a lot, and this wisdom is helping others to diversify their own subjective truth. So you are the revealer of the bigger truth, the fuller truth. And it looks like you're able to do this in a very loving and encouraging and inspiring way. You have magic, the shapeshifter, the destiny, the dignity. Yes, your good destiny of love is sure. You're creating miracles with your energy. That's so beautiful. I love this for you. I hope that that resonates and that you got something from that reading. And I'll leave you with that. Take good care of yourselves. Until next time, Gemini.